Welcome back to the Accountability Hour, the podcast where we tackle double standards, self-improvement, and the messy realities of relationships. This is Lynn Watchhorn. How do you set boundaries without sounding like a total psycho? I'm hoping the sounds a little bit better now. I actually got a microphone and I'm recording this on my computer rather than my phone. I'm not super savvy when it comes to technology or sound in general, so let me know if it sounds terrible or it's worse than before. So the older I get, the more I realize a lot of people struggle with setting boundaries. In fact, a lot of people don't set boundaries at all. They just sort of put up with whatever people deal with, and eventually the relationship falls apart and they just go about their life, and a lot of relationships end up not existing anymore because of it. A lot of people spend their whole lives shrinking just to be liked or just to be heard, and it just doesn't work long term. I remember when I was a kid, I would get in so much trouble with my parents because I was so bold and I would say the most horrible things to people. And this does not give me a free pass. I take accountability for that. I said horrible things I shouldn't have, and my parents were right to stop me. But it almost taught me to become the extreme opposite, where I was people-pleasing rather than bringing up what was bothering me and expecting, decent, basic respect from people. And I feel like for a lot of us, we don't get that explanation of the difference. We're just sort of told, oh, don't do that. Okay, well, what else can I do? What's the opposite of that? But a lot of us spend our whole lives shrinking ourselves, not doing the things that we want, not saying the things that we're feeling because of this. So if you're the type of person that over-explains, you avoid confrontation, or you wait until you're about to snap inside because you've built up so much resentment, this should help you. Why do we need boundaries? Because it teaches people how to treat you. That's it. The unfortunate reality is we don't live in a world where people will treat you good by default. I wish we lived in a world like that where people treated each other with decency and respect, but that's just not how it works. You probably have dealt with a lot of difficult people in your life. And if you've watched any of my videos, I say this a lot. You need to say what you're thinking. You need to bring it up. And usually I'm directing that at women because women will not say what they're thinking and feeling, and then resentment builds up and then it cracks the relationship down the road. They expect the man to read her mind kind of thing. But I know a lot of men also don't speak up because they want to keep the peace. So if you have a habit of people pleasing, it's fawning basically. Aggression is a defense response, which is fight, and then avoidance is freeze or flight. And when you don't have any boundaries, basically everyone around you gets what they want except for you. I've seen a lot of situations in workplaces where the quiet, kind person ends up overextending themselves constantly, and everyone around them, it gets everything that they want, but because that one person doesn't speak up, they don't. Or maybe you go to that party for the third time in a row, third time in a week, and you're exhausted and you just want a day to sit at home and watch TV, but you don't know how to say it to your friend without hurting their feelings. And you're so scared they'll take it personal, but it's I just genuinely need some time to myself kind of thing. So in order to set boundaries, we kind of need to know the difference between being assertive, aggressive, and passive. When you're assertive, you're calm, you're direct, and you're clear. You own your decision without justifying it. And if you normally kind of more on the passive side, this might sound really brutal to you. You might say something that you don't want to do to someone. You might be like, well, I'm not available for that right now. And that's it. That's all you say. You don't say why. You don't explain yourself. That's it. I'm just not available for that. Or no, that's it. And now the opposite extreme, being aggressive, you're harsh, emotional outbursts, you're attacking them. Are you seriously asking me to do this again? What the F is wrong with you? Yeah, don't be doing that to your friends. Otherwise, you probably won't have friends very long. Now, passive, you're vague, you're overly accommodating, you're anxious. Maybe you sit there and explain it. I guess I can. It's fine. It's okay. It's secretly not, but it's okay. Now, you really don't want to go here, but passive aggressive, you're sarcastic, silent treatment, guilt tripping. Wow, must be nice to have no responsibilities. Just kind of taking a jab at the person. Or you agree knowing deep down that you're just not going to show up the day of. I feel like that one's a common one. And unfortunately, people don't respect you long term if you act like that. So that one you want to avoid. For a lot of us, we're afraid of not doing things that way because of fear of rejection, abandonment, and conflict. You're scared the person's going to argue with you. What I've noticed is when you say it confidently, like, oh, I'm just not available that day or whatever, people usually don't press. And if they do press, you're nice about it, but you're firm. Oh, I'm just busy. I'm not available. You can repeat yourself over and over again to be boring enough that they stop asking. Because we all know those people that are super pressing. They just don't stop, and you're thinking in your head, like, please stop. So what are some things that you can say? That doesn't work for me. It's clean. It's final. It's great for the unwanted plans, the expectations, the emotional labor. Can you babysit on Saturday? No, that doesn't work for me. I'm not available for that. We're not doing this conversation like that. Maybe someone's trying to gaslight you or they're trying to start an argument. Now, for those pushy people that press you, I'm done explaining myself. And if they're really pressing you, I don't owe you access. Next, you can be upset, but I'm not changing my decision on this. Because again, sometimes people will sit there and try to argue with you. Also, what I've noticed that people that care about you overall, they'll want you to have that level of honesty. And I've noticed the people that really push you or have that entitled mindset where they expect you to help them, a lot of them are like, they might be using you. Because again, that stems back from them not caring about your overall well-being. And I'm not talking about the rare instance where they might be a little upset or disappointed. That's valid. We're human. But sometimes those people that don't reciprocate in your life, that expect you to drop everything for them, are the ones that probably need you to say no a little more often. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might benefit from it. If you'd like more content from me, I have a YouTube and a Patreon.